All right, guys, I just wanted to get into a quick discussion of GLTF. So these GLTF stands for Graphics Library Transmission Format, and it is a new, uh, most efficient way for you to communicate and send 3D assets. So as you can see, this is a 3D asset, right? Um, and this is a, this website is freely accessible to everyone, right? And pretty much, uh, that's what GLTF is. It's by the Kronos Group, which are the same people that do Vulkan API, and it basically shows you a bunch of things that you could do with GLTF. So the thing about it is that computer graphics, you don't just want a picture on the screen. You don't just want a two-dimensional picture or something like that. You want an interactive object, right? Of course, you want an interactive object that is affected by a scene, by lighting, all of that stuff, right? So that's what that's what GLTF enables you to communicate: the object itself, the scene around it, the lighting, maybe even camera positions, all of that stuff, right? So I'm going to get into this briefly and basically talk about how how you could get these different assets into your computer graphics application. I think for a lot of you creative guys, for a lot of you people who are creatively inclined, this is something that you would be interested in. Now, there's a marketplace for these 3D assets. So if you type in GLTF, like marketplace or buy sell or whatever, you'll be able to see a bunch of uh different assets that you could buy or sell. So if you are into architecture, real estate, any kind of marketing or any simulation that you need to make your application better, you could actually buy uh models like these and incorporate them into your computer graphics application. By the way, this is Cuda Education. Thank you for watching my video. I most recently focus on learning the Vulkan API, so definitely I'd like you guys to consider liking, subscribing. If you want to get started on your journey with Vulkan, you could definitely do that. I have tutorial number 1 and tutorial number 13 linked below. And what that is it's a bunch of videos that help you to get the Vulkan API installed on your Windows-based machine with a Vulkan-capable GPU. Again, it's a Windows-based machine with a Vulkan-capable GPU. So if you have those, you could definitely join in on the fun, install the examples, the Vulkan API examples, and then learn the Vulkan API. But yeah, this GLTF, but basically it was an attempt by the Kronos Group, which is it is a consortium of many different tech companies, and basically what they try to do is to bring standardized technology to the marketplace. So there are many different 3D asset files, maybe even standards, but let's just say file formats, but they're not standardized, right? So across many different applications like I don't know, Photoshop, Blender, Unity, all that stuff. There isn't a standardized way of of communicating these assets. And the GLTF format is memory efficient and also provides additional things like the surrounding, the scene information, the lighting information, the camera information, and it's all done in a format that's kind of ready made and easily digestible by many applications. Now, the thing with this format, from what I've learned online, is that uh there was one that I the thing that I learned online is that it's not as it's a polygon based approach, so it's like point to point with triangles that make up these images. So it isn't as hardcore or as um it isn't as intense as, say, CAD files, because CAD files, if you're trying to do a circle, the surface of the circle has to be extremely smooth, and of course you're trying to do physics and stuff. So it's not as intense as it's not as intense as CAD, because CAD uses a different um means or ways of creating objects and images, and of course it has to be physics wise, it has to be sound, right? So when two objects hit each other, or when one part is interfacing with another part, it has to be more involved. So um this is GLTF is more oriented to simply presentation and having objects, and of course texture, material, and lighting, um that sort of stuff. But it is a start, and for you guys that are creative, um it is a starting point, right? um if you wanted to get into animation, CGI, this is some beautiful stuff. You can't complain about this stuff. You know what I mean? So if you want to get into computer graphics, I would definitely say this is a lane that you could go into, and of course you could even sell your creations on the marketplace, right? So right, look at this, right? So you could sell your creations on the marketplace and really get some value. I mean, one of the things with just being an artist and being a creative is that you kind of always have to be weary of the money. So you know here at Cuda Education, we want to get you guys focused on the money, right? It's not just about learning stuff, but learning stuff that has a market, that has value, that you could use to um provide for your family and all of that stuff, right? So just wanted to show you guys the lane. I'll get into it a little bit more with more videos, but I think for the creatives out there, you would be enamored by this, right? There was one. And this is in your browser, okay? So this is like, ooh. Yeah, this is like in your browser. So um you don't have to necessarily have anything installed or anything special. But of course, if you want to do a computer graphics application, it's a whole different ball game. You have to get the Vulkan API. So yeah, guys, this is my contribution to the world. If you didn't know, now you know. Can't say you didn't know. Get a bunch of your friends together. And you guys work through this stuff. Okay, it's more fun working through this stuff with friends. Okay, um, it's a lot of things that you have to see. Look at that. For you sneaker heads out there, you sneaker designers, this is you. This is you right here. You could create your own sneaker design and submit it to Nike, submit it to Adidas, submit it to Puma, whoever is your favorite shoe designer. You could submit to them, right? If you guys are into fashion, you know the deal, okay? Um, yeah. And then there's like a whole bunch of advanced controls. I'll leave the fun to you guys. So just visit this website. I've seen it work in Chrome. This is what Microsoft Edge. I've seen it work in different browsers. So you know, now one of the things that I will tell you about computer graphics, right? What I learned is that, especially with the whole ray tracing thing, like Nvidia comes out with RTX this and RTX that, is that one of the big differentiating factors between a cartoon scene or a cartoon sort of picture and a real life realistic picture, one of the things that's a huge differentiating factor is the lighting. So you can see with this water bottle that, I mean, it still has a tinge of animation to it in terms of when you look at it, but you could see that it almost could be like photorealistic, right? It could almost be almost like a real bottle that's like sitting in front of you on the table, right? And the reason is because of the lighting. And that lighting, you get into ray tracing, you get into path tracing, you get into, and what it is reflections, refractions, shadows, all of that stuff. And a cartoon or even like old computer graphics systems, like you remember like early Nintendo or the Genesis or Game Boy and stuff. The problem with N64, going through the problem with animation as opposed to photorealistic stuff is all about management of the lighting. But in order to manage the lighting, it requires a lot of computer processing, right? So we've kind of reached a stage now in sort of microchip design and stuff where, with each ray that's bouncing off of the bottle, we could get a true reflection of, how the colors change, how the sheen changes, and because of the lighting is what, and the shadows and the changes of the lightings and the nuances is what in our mind and in our brains kind of tricks us into believing that this is actually a water bottle sitting in front of us, right? And the less processing that you do, it's the less you're able to to mimic a photorealistic scene or a photorealistic object. Okay, so I'm still learning this stuff too. I'm taking you along for the ride, but I think it's well worth the effort. Let me see. It's well worth the effort, and it's a lane, guys. It's a lane. So, please, all I ask is at the very least, like, subscribe, and tell your friends and get them to like and subscribe. Check out tutorial number 1 and tutorial number 13 to get Vulkan installed on your machine. See, look at this stuff, man. I mean, you can't deny how great this stuff is, right? And if you learn how to build these things, more power to you. I'm more looking at it from a computer graphics application approach. I'm not necessarily a creative, so I'm not necessarily trying to, create beautiful scenes or create beautiful things, but yeah, look at this. So I think what this is this is a reflecting. It's assuming that there's a scene around the ball, and it's reflecting the scene around the ball. We don't see the scene here, but it actually is programmatically. Programmatically, it's there. You see, look how the light changes, and because the light changes, it kind of gives a sheen of photorealism, right? this is some beautiful stuff. I mean, Kronos Group did a really good job with this standard, right? And they're trying to standardize it across all applications, so everyone can use it. Yeah, man. I mean, you can't deny this stuff. You could zoom in and zoom out. You know what I mean? What else? What else? What else? What else? All right, this was the original thing, right? You could zoom in. Photorealism, guys. So, all right. Thank you for watching. This is Cuda Education. Have a great day.